Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Vinco Ventures, ticker symbol BBIG. Now, today was a very disappointing day for the stock, closing down about 10%, mostly due to technical reasons. There was a bit of a scare off yesterday after the SEC filing that kind of just really meant nothing. It was just a very standard, typical delayed filing for quarter two earnings results that I'm going to get into a little bit in this video. But as a result, the stock fell. I'm going to show you why on the charts that kind of made sense. And then I'm also going to break down a couple of other pieces of news that came out regarding Vinco Ventures, why I continue to believe in the stock and continue to believe that it is the most undervalued stock on the market. And we're going to finish up, as always, by reviewing the charts, taking a look at key indicators and key levels so we know what to expect moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, really quickly before we begin, I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far and has shown their support. I really do appreciate that. We are very, very close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber marker. So I've decided to do a giveaway, okay? I'm going to be giving away two $25 prizes to anybody that likes one of my videos that I'm going to make over the next couple of days. But there is a catch, okay? So one $25 pool is going to go to anybody who likes my video, and another $25 pool is going to go to people who specifically subscribe from now until the end of Friday and leave that thumbs up on one of these videos. On top of that, if we get to 900 subscribers by Friday, I will increase that prize pool to $50 each for each giveaway. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers by this Friday, it won't take that much for that to happen. Well, then I'm going to be giving away two $100 pools, one to just anybody who is already subscribed or hasn't subscribed and likes the video, and also one to somebody new who subscribes and likes the video. So stay tuned for that. But aside from that, let's hop right into the video. All right, so here's the 10Q filing that came out yesterday in after hours and is more than likely what sent BBIG down this morning. There's really no other news that came out that could even possibly be taken as negative for the stock. However, for some reason, this filing, while it is pretty normal for a company to file this, it did send the stock down. However, as you guys can see here, it does tell us when we can expect earnings. It said that it was going to be delayed by 5 days, the fifth calendar day after the deadline, which was yesterday, meaning that we should be getting the earnings by either this Friday or Monday at the latest, which is ultimately a good thing. Okay. I'm not too concerned about the inner workings of the earnings report itself. However, I'm looking forward to the earnings because with the earnings, we're also going to be able to hear from the leadership of the company regarding the projects and the catalysts that has all of us playing this stock. So ultimately, this merger delay or this earnings delay rather isn't a big deal. It's kind of a non-factor, ultimately just giving us more dip opportunities to buy up the stock before these catalysts really get launched into effect and we kind of get the full picture with all the details from BBIG's management team. So yeah, that just kind of explains the reason, and then I'll go into the charts and explain it a little bit more why it would cause such a big sell-off. But with that being said, before we get into the charts, I just want to point out two other things that I have also seen on Twitter that I also find pretty interesting regarding the overall story. First off, if this news catches some steam, this could be very, very good for BBIG stock. We saw that Senator Marco Rubio wants Biden to block TikTok in the U.S. after the Chinese government took a stake in the company. If this picks up more steam in the government and this story picks up more steam, all of a sudden, this could be very, very pivotal for BBIG stock because, as we all know, Lemotif, which isn't Chinese based, is one of TikTok's biggest competitors. That is who BBIG Vinco Ventures is seeking to acquire through the merger. So ultimately, if any more moves are taken regarding this story, well, this could be very, very groundbreaking for Vinco Ventures stock. And the final thing I want to point out also on Twitter, this came yesterday, was just the short float, short squeeze update. So as we all can see here, 27.10% short interest of the float. So that, while it's not the 51% that we see on FinViz right now, that is still very, very high and shows that if we do start to see any sudden movements up, which could easily happen with any number of catalysts going for the stock right now, well, all of a sudden we could indeed get a short squeeze, and all of a sudden the stock price could rise even more. So that is something also to keep in mind and something I'm very excited about. But all that being said, let's hop into the chart. So why did BBIG kind of take that tumble out of the gate this morning for news that honestly wasn't even bad? Well, the reason being is it opened up below the 200-day moving average. Okay. And this is the moving average that is kind of like the biggest indicator for many traders and many algos that play stocks. Okay. Above the 200-day moving average, the sentiment is bullish. Below, the sentiment is bearish. It normally comes with a lot of support or resistance, depending on which side of it you're on. However, today, with all the fear regarding earnings, it unfortunately did take that tumble below. And as a result, we saw a bunch of stop losses triggered, and we got rated all the way down to this 250 to 260 level, which is where we consistently stayed throughout the day, despite, above average volume. We weren't really able to make some moves. However, we were able to hold this range very strongly, potentially forming a new bottom here at 248. And I'll get into that more once we discuss key levels. However, that being said, first we got to take a look at the indicators. So I've kind of already touched on the main moving average I'm looking at. It's right here at 278. Ultimately, with BBIG falling below that, it is now giving off a bearish signal, both short-term, intermediate term, and also now long-term. However, that being said, what you do have to realize is that, don't forget about your DD. We have plenty of catalysts upcoming. We know how undervalued the stock is. If you're looking for more DD, I would strongly recommend for you to watch my last video on Vinco Ventures, where I explained to you guys just how undervalued this company is. And that any day now we are going to start receiving more and more details, kind of confirming our DD and just, providing more context to these catalysts and why this stock is very, very undervalued at these levels. So that the reason I bring this up is that normally it does take a lot to break over a 200-day moving average, especially after falling below it and closing below it. However, if any amount of news regarding the Lomotive deal or even their ENFT projects come out and looks very promising, and there is a volume spike in BBIG, well, all of a sudden we could break right above it, and all of a sudden the stock outlook is going to start to turn a lot more bullish. So keep that level in mind. Keep watching onto that level. There's going to be a lot of resistance here, but once we break above that, that's when the real fun is going to start to begin, and we're going to start climbing our way back up and start realizing, some other moving averages, and then also starting to realize some gains and, just what fair value is for the stock. Final indicator I want to take a look at here is the RSI. With today's big sell-off, we are now getting into very overextended territory. On this oversold side, we are approaching that 30 marker on the RSI, which kind of indicates that we are overextended on the seller side. Sellers are going to get exhausted at one point. Buyers are going to be stepping in at these cheap prices. That is something to keep your eye on. But with all that being said, let's now take a look at our key levels heading into tomorrow. So on the support side, our first level to look out for is this 248 level. It was our lowest point today, which has also been our lowest point in a while. But it held up very nicely. We tested it multiple times, and each time buyers did come through and pick the stock price back up. So ultimately, that is kind of starting to show signs of becoming what could be a very, very strong support level and a very nice local bottom to risk off of. If that doesn't hold historically, there has also been support at 240 and 220 as well. So watch out for those. Keep those marked on your calendar, on your charts rather. Like I always say, when it comes to support levels, when you're looking to add to your position or open a position in a stock, you should always try to buy near support levels. By doing so, you minimize your risk and maximize your potential upside. So that is something to keep in mind. But now, speaking of upside, we do have a little bit of resistance here at 270, but the main resistance that you guys want to watch out for is the 278 level. That's where the 200-day moving average is. That is going to require a lot of volume to break through. If you are getting in at these low levels and you see a move to 278, if there's no major news for why it made that move to the upside, and if there's no major volume associated with it, well, all of a sudden that 278 level becomes a spot you should circle, because it's a very nice spot to, take some profits at least while you continue to build your core position for a swing. However, if we do break above that, well, all of a sudden the ball is rolling again. We have support resistance at 290, 305, and 318 to 330 after that. So those are the key levels to keep in mind for tomorrow. But others, aside from that, let me know what you think is going to happen next. Where are your thoughts on this stock right now? I'm very interested to hear your guys' feedback as always. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.